Good morning and welcome to Walking and Talking, and a slightly different subject this morning, but it's still related to hair, but it's more to do with well-being. And for years and years I kept my life so secret, and only a few people actually knew what was going on in my private life. And with this, I know from being ill of being celiac and ignoring it, but I didn't choose to look after myself because I didn't have enough self-worth. And the more I go on this journey and I speak to different women, we tend to lose our self-worth when we choose to go against our integrity and we're not congruent with who we really are, and we settle for less. Some of you don't realise you're doing it until it's too late, and then you find yourself caught in a web that you cannot get out of. And then result in this, you can lose your hair, you can lose yourself, you can lose the way you eat, but most of all you lose who you are. And each time you give a piece of you away and you settle for less, you're emptying the vessel of who you really are. And I know for a fact of this because I did it in a 9-year marriage. And at the beginning it was all rosy and it was perfect and it was excellent. And slowly, different things kept happening and changing. And I was going against who I was as a human being, my values of what I stood for. And I was losing myself. And one day, a girlfriend, and we've moved to Spain by this time, and she just said, "I'm so worried for your well-being. You're not Tash anymore." And I was a shadow of myself. I was a shadow of the vibrant young woman who loved life, loved the zest of life. But I had 2 young children, and they were my main concern. And I stopped worrying about myself and just knew that I had to be the best woman for them. But in doing that, I lost who I was. And it was to protect Callum and Poppy and not let them see what I was going through. And it wasn't till years and years later that I actually took the courage to actually stop what was going on, because I realised if I didn't do it, I'd be not breaking a pattern, and my children would think it was acceptable to be in a marriage without love, without respect, and settle for second best. And on the back of that, me not eating properly caused lots of other health problems. But the number one problem, really, when I'm truthful, was I was so unhappy with the way I was living my life because I wasn't being true to myself. And the more when I speak and help women, the number one thing is finding our happiness again and making sure we are living to our full potential of who we really are, and getting back to being congruent with your values. Don't settle for anything less than you really know is right in your heart. And the more you do this, the more you give away of yourself, the less you will actually see of who you are. So as I walk and talk and I do my things, and I question it every day, why I'm doing this. And the reason being is to help women become who they should be and who they were before they had their children, or before they chose that relationship that didn't really suit them, or they're in a job that's not really working for them. There's umpteen reasons. This is just my story. I've always loved my hairdressing, and it was my saving grace. I could escape to it. But when I left that, there was nothing else there except for Callum and Poppy. And for any of you who feel the same way, and you do want advice and you do need to get out of that situation, then I've done it, I've been there. And once you actually step out of it, you'll never ever look back again, and you will be happy.